English Boost Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Boost Podcast. I'm Emma, and today we have a really fun topic to discuss.
And I'm James. Hi, Emma. Yes, I'm really excited about today's episode because we're going to talk about vacations. I love traveling and visiting new places, so this topic is perfect for me.
Me too. Talking about vacations and travel experiences is something we do a lot in everyday conversation. When you meet someone new, or when you return to work after a holiday, people always ask, how was your vacation, or where did you go?
Exactly. Being able to describe your travel experiences in English is such a useful skill. Today we're going to share stories about our last vacations and teach you vocabulary and phrases to talk about your own trips.
Whether you went to the beach, visited a big city, or stayed in the countryside, after this episode you'll be able to describe it all in English.
Hi everyone, I'm Olivia. I absolutely love hearing about people's travel adventures. Let's learn some vacation vocabulary together.
So Emma, tell us about your last vacation. Where did you go and when was it?
My last vacation was in September, and I went to Spain with my boyfriend. We spent 10 days there, and it was absolutely amazing. We visited 2 cities, Barcelona and Madrid. It was my first time in Spain, so everything felt new and exciting.
That sounds wonderful. How did you get there? Did you fly?
Yes, we flew from London to Barcelona. The flight was only about 2 hours, which was really convenient. We booked everything online a few months in advance, which I recommend because prices go up closer to the travel date.
Where did you stay?
In Barcelona, we stayed in a small boutique hotel in the Gothic Quarter. It was right in the center of the city, so we could walk everywhere. In Madrid, we rented an apartment through Airbnb. It was nice to have our own kitchen and living space.
What did you do in Barcelona? What were the highlights?
Oh, there was so much to see. The first thing we did was visit the Sagrada Familia, the famous church designed by Gaudí. It was absolutely breathtaking. The architecture is so unique and beautiful. We also walked along La Rambla, which is a famous street full of shops, restaurants, and street performers.
Did you go to the beach? Barcelona has beautiful beaches, right?
Yes. We spent one afternoon at Barcelona Beach. The weather was perfect, about 28 degrees, and sunny. We swam in the Mediterranean Sea, which was so warm and clear. After the beach, we had dinner at a seafood restaurant nearby. I had the most delicious paella I've ever tasted.
What about Madrid? What did you do there?
Madrid was different, but equally wonderful. We visited the Prado Museum, which has an incredible collection of art. We spent almost 4 hours there, looking at paintings by famous Spanish artists. We also walked through the beautiful Retiro Park and visited the Royal Palace. The city has so much history and culture. But
What was your favorite part of the whole trip?
that's a hard question. I think my favorite moment was watching the sunset from Park Güell in Barcelona. The view of the city was incredible and the colorful mosaic decorations were beautiful. It was a magical experience that I'll never forget.
Now it's your turn, James. Tell us about your last vacation. Where did you go?
My last vacation was quite different from yours. I went to Scotland with my wife in August. We decided to do a road trip through the Scottish Highlands. Neither of us had been to that part of Scotland before, so we were really excited to explore.
The road trip sounds amazing. How long was the trip?
We were away for 1 week. We rented a car in Edinburgh and drove north through the Highlands, stopping at different places along the way. In total, we drove about 800 miles, which sounds like a lot, but the scenery was so beautiful that we didn't mind at all.
Where did you stay during the road trip?
We stayed in different places each night. Some nights we stayed in small bed and breakfasts, which are very traditional in Scotland. The owners were always friendly and would cook us a full Scottish breakfast every morning. One night we even stayed in a castle that had been converted into a hotel. The owners were always friendly and would cook us a full Scottish breakfast every morning. One night we even stayed in a castle that had been converted into a hotel.
A castle. That must have been incredible.
It was. The room had stone walls and antique furniture. It felt like stepping back in time. The castle had amazing views of the mountains. It was definitely the most memorable accommodation of the trip.
What were some of the places you visited?
We saw so many beautiful places. We visited Loch Ness, of course. We didn't see the famous monster, but the lake itself was stunning. We also drove through Glencoe, which has some of the most dramatic mountain scenery in Britain. The landscape was incredible with green valleys, waterfalls, and mountains covered in clouds.
Did you do any activities or just sightseeing?
We did a bit of both. One day we went hiking in the Cairngorms National Park. It was challenging but rewarding. We climbed to the top of a mountain and had a picnic with amazing views. We also visited a whiskey distillery and learned how Scottish whiskey is made.
What was the weather like?
We got quite lucky. It only rained on 2 days. The rest of the time it was cloudy but dry. Scottish summers aren't very warm, so we needed our jackets, but it wasn't cold. The changing weather actually made the landscapes more dramatic.
What was your favorite part of the trip?
I think my favorite part was driving along the North Coast 500, a famous scenic route. At one point, we stopped at a completely empty beach with white sand and turquoise water. We were the only people there. It felt like we had discovered a secret paradise.
What wonderful vacation stories. Now let me explain some useful travel vocabulary. First, vacation. A vacation is time away from work or school, when you travel or relax. In British English, we often say holiday instead. Both words mean the same thing. Next, travel. Travel means to go from one place to another, usually over a long distance. You can travel by plane, train, car, or bus. We also use travel as a noun to talk about traveling in general. Then, accommodation. Accommodation is where you stay during your trip. It could be a hotel, a hostel, an apartment, or a bed and breakfast. James stayed in different types of accommodation, including a castle. Sightseeing means visiting famous or interesting places as a tourist. When you go sightseeing, you look at monuments, museums, and landmarks. Emma did lots of sightseeing in Barcelona and Madrid. Explore means to travel around a place to learn about it. When you explore, you discover new things. James and his wife explored the Scottish Highlands by car. Finally, memorable. Something memorable is something you will remember for a long time because it was special. James said staying in the castle was his most memorable accommodation. Those are your vacation vocabulary words. Back to Emma and James.
Thank you, Olivia. Now everyone can talk about their travel experiences in English.
Let's review. Vacation, travel, accommodation, sightseeing, explore, and memorable. Use these words to describe your next trip.
We'd love to hear about your vacations. Where was your last trip? Share your stories in the comments.
Thank you for watching English Boost Podcast. We hope this episode inspired you to plan your next trip.
Please like this video and subscribe for more English lessons.
See you in the next episode. Safe travels.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Happy travels.